What's going on, everybody? Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. Another amazing day inside the market. The relief bounce that we've been talking about since last week has carried over to bring us all the way up to the 50-day moving average. Google's amazing earnings yesterday really carried the entire market. Today played exactly how I thought it was going to. A little bit of pull at the open and then a nice rally into close. Tomorrow's going to be a little different. Facebook reported their earnings. Massive miss, and their guidance was pretty bad going forward and is pulling down the entire market. If you can look at after hours right now, I do think that Facebook is going to get to a level as it is down over 15% as I'm making this video, just under $250, that investors will eventually come in and scoop that up because it is a good deal, in my opinion, especially for the long-term outlook, okay, of Facebook. But in this video, I want to talk about the entire market, just give you a quick overview, technicals, especially what you can expect the next couple days, but also talk about the $500 million secured notes. I did a little bit of research on the difference between a convertible note and a secured note. So I want to share that with you. Like I said, this is a little bit new to me. I'm just going to give you my opinion and then the research that I have done, break everything down for you in this video. So let's get right into it. First off, as you can see, that relief bounce, 4 days going strong, bouncing off the 50-day moving average. All right, I did think that 459 to 464 level was doable. I've been saying it ever since late last week. As you just saw, this amazing soaking and buyers stepping right in, into the SPY and the QQQs as well. I did call this out pre-market. If you are new to some of these rallies, it is very natural when you get a big gap up, all right, to have a little bit of profit taking. I said this at 9:17 this morning, slightly short bias. I'm profit taking today, the first 2 hours, which is exactly what happened. If you look over here at the 1 minute chart, 2 hours, almost 2 hours into it, it came down, made a nice double bottom, and then a slow, grind to the upside for the rest of the entire day. As you can see, our after hours being heavily pulled down by Facebook going forward. So like next couple days might be a little bit choppy. But let's talk about AMC. I've heard people asking some questions. Isn't this good for the company? Had a little bit of pop yesterday on preliminaries. All right, and today it's kind of just been slowly selling off. So this is one of the articles that was released from CNBC. AMC to raise $500 million in bond sale as it seeks to refinance debt. Adam Aron has been talking about this for a while. Refinancing debt can be very good. If you own a house, you know that the mortgage rates have been low over the past year and a half, and it can be very advantageous to you to save money on interest when you're refinancing, which is what Adam Aron is looking to do as well. The other caveat to this when it comes to big money sitting on the sides is you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Adam Aron had stated that they still do need capital in order to stay afloat. All right. They were able to dodge bankruptcy by the skin of their teeth last year. So they still do need funds in order to be able to stay afloat. And it is good because they're not issuing shares onto us directly. Okay. He did try to have the ability to issue more shares, and that he took off the table last June. So that is good for us. And like I said, he did state that he wants to refinance some of our debts, reduce interest expense, and push out some debt maturities by several years and loosen some covenants, which are very good. And we know that when it comes to the dividend, some of that was tied to some of these old covenants. Okay, so just keep that in mind going forward, that in the future, that is still very green, and to whether we know exactly. But here's the big question. Okay, so a lot of times they will offer a company will offer senior convertible notes, and what a convertible note is, okay, is it allows the ability, all right, that contains an option in which the note will be converted into a predefined amount of the issuer's shares. Okay, and everything that I read, and if you look at, all right, the investor relations website, it says senior secured notes. I even did a Command F on my Mac to see if the word convertible was in any of this. Okay, now this isn't the official documentation. Okay, just like it's saying, hey, I'm buying a mortgage, but you're not actually going to see the mortgage docs. Okay, so until we do get that or are able to see that and that is publicized, some of this is still a little bit speculative. All right, and when I read what the difference between a senior secured note is, it's weird because it says senior secured notes means secured or unsecured notes or other debt of a company issued after the closing date. Okay, and it does not provide any scheduled repayment date, mandatory redemption, or sinking fund obligations, which said to me there's a little bit of a difference between a secured note and a convertible note. As we know, convertible notes are directly tied to shares, which means that the purchaser of these senior convertible notes has the ability to cash that in for shares at their time, at a predetermined time. Okay, meaning if it's a 7-year note, after 3 or 5 years, they have the option to be able to do that. Think about you guys buying options. Okay, when a call option becomes in the money, it gives you the right, okay, but not the obligation to purchase those shares at a predetermined price. It's very similar to what a convertible note is. However, a senior secured note, there's nothing that I read that I found on Investopedia, okay, on this Law Insider, that states that it is tied to any amount of shares. So we're gonna have to see that going forward. I did want to just come out and make this quick video. It was an amazing, after hours as I'm looking at this, the Facebook is still sitting around that $250 level. Just a massive, massive drop. Didn't want to miss going forward. But when it comes to AMC, everything still stands, guys. The level still stand. You saw it in the video I made yesterday of where my position is. I'm still currently in the red, but I'm still holding for this. All right. And also, I'm going to make another entirely new video, all right, talking about market makers and hedge funds, especially because one of the big individuals that is short AMC is also one of the prime market makers for us. I'm going to make another video